Hey guys, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to Caucasian Movie Month. And this one's going to be a rant. Sorry, I had to do one of these lumped in here somewhere in September. So get ready to feel the wrath of one of the worst horror movies of 2018. Easily one of the worst. It's bad because of all the mistakes that they made and the lost potential that this movie had. And no, it's not even the actors that are the problem with this movie. What I'm talking about is Blumhouse's Truth or Dare movie from 2018 that came out back in like April. Yeah, this movie sucks, guys. I saw the unrated cut. This is the only thing you're missing if you saw this movie in theaters already. There's nudity. There's a sex scene where they show more skin than in the PG-13 cut. They say the F word and there's a little bit more gore. That's about it. It still feels like a very PG-13-ish movie. Now, what's my thoughts on this movie besides that it sucks? This movie should have been a horror comedy because half of the movie I was laughing my ass off. I was never scared. This has no tension. Every single death you see it coming, and you know what's their gimmick? Everybody that's possessed by this demon that got released in a Mexican freaking land, they smile like the Joker like this. Truth or dare. Truth or dare. It's not scary. It's just ridiculous. I'm like, that would have been creepy in the Stephen King's It or a Joker origin movie or something like that. That smile doesn't work here. It's laughable. It looks ridiculous. The actors are like, it's stupid. All the actors that do that, bless them, they tried their hardest. This film has a really decent cast. You got a bunch of TV actors and actors from other movies that I've seen, and they've done better than this. You got Michael Lerner. He was in the movie, whatchamacallit, Project Almanac. He's on the Goldbergs. He plays Jeff Schwartz. He dies in one of the stupidest ways. They dare him to like show his junk to everybody in a freaking bar. He gets on a pool table. He doesn't do it. Instead, like he starts getting dizzy, and then he hits his freaking head on the freaking pool table and breaks his neck and dies. I'm like, wow, that's as Three Stooges as you can get. This movie steals from like at least four different movies. It steals the premise of Final Destination, where everybody is in like a row. Right, the Truth or Dare thing follows them, kind of like death follows each person in Final Destination. It steals from It Follows because basically the demon goes from one person to the other, like in It Follows. That was a way better freaking movie than this because it was tension and it was scary. This film also steals from other films, like Jumanji, not the movie from last year, the original, where it's a game, but the game is like smarter than you think. And I'm like, except it's not a board game. The spirit of the game is coming out to get them. And what's another movie it steals from? I guess Scream, because it has a bunch of young, fresh faces from TV and movies, and yeah, and it's a waste. It has a stupid ending that a bunch of these horror movies have, where you know it just slaps you in the face, and it's a sequel bait ending. I'm like, I don't want to see a sequel to this freaking movie. I don't want to see it. Blumhouse, you can do better than this. I'm not going to say the budget. This movie cost less than $4 million. It cost 3 point something $1 million. It's very, very low budget. It looks that way, but it doesn't look cheap because it's not like it has horrible CGI. It's a wasted freaking movie. I Feel Pretty, I didn't like it because it was boring and it wasn't funny. I didn't laugh one time. Here, I was laughing my ass off, and it's not a comedy. This is a supernatural horror movie. I was never scared. There's one jump scare, and then the rest of the movie is just like, oh, the kids goofing off in Mexico in spring break, like spring breakers, and they play Truth or Dare like to have fun, and then the spirit thinks it's for real, so it follows them all the way back to their home in the U.S., and they're dying one by one. Again, I saw this in Final Destination, all five of them, where death is following them. There's a person has a vision that they're gonna die, and then death keeps following them even after they avoid it. I've seen it before. Yeah, that's the same premise of that. This film had four freaking writers, four, not one, four, and they came up with stealing from other freaking horror franchises and doing the stupid Joker smile and having freaking these good actors wasted in this shitty script. What script? It's just a bunch of cliches. You got the sweet innocent girl Olivia, played by the always talented, always beautiful Lucy Hale. I would make a baby with that beautiful actress. I would just, I'll give her what I want. I'll give her what she wants. You know, if she asked me to be the father of her child, I would just do it in a heartbeat. I would snap my fingers like Thanos and do it. I loved her ever since Pretty Little Liars. She's wasted here. Bad things happen to her, and it's not her fault. This is not like Unfriended, where it had that same stupid ending, which I liked Unfriended, but I hated the freaking ending. Here, the ending was just a stupid slap in the face sequel bait. She's very attractive in the movie. I mean, she has short hair, her big friendly eyes. In the sex scene, I don't know if that was her, if it was a body double, but what I saw, I'm like, hey, I'm not complaining. You're a beautiful young lady. And in Pretty Little Liars, that had atmosphere, that had tension, that had freaking suspense. This, there's nothing. It's just, oh, this person's gonna die, this person's gonna die, this person's gonna die. The only scene with tension was when the Asian guy, Brian, I think his name is, he points a gun at his father, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of scary, and it has nothing to do with that spirit. And then he doesn't kill his father, so he ends up shooting himself, and I'm like, oh no, actually no, I'm wrong. The partner shoots him, and I'm like, you dumbass. And who does it? A freaking blonde white guy. But like I said before, Lucy Hale's good in the film. I tried, but her character, we've seen it all before. The sweet young girl that gets dragged into these situations. Yeah, I've seen that already. Her best friend in Mackie or whatever her name is, she's played by Violet Bean. And any of you DC lovers that have watched The Flash, she's Jesse Quick. She just has blonde hair in this movie, and she's her best friend. And yeah, her and spoiler, they're the only two that stay alive at the end when they're trying to get rid of the spirit, which they also don't do that because the movie just it keeps on going. It doesn't end. It's like the movie ends and it's a sequel bait for more people that are going to suffer through this game. It's bullshit. It's not fun. It's boring at times. Like it's 96 minutes long. It's not that long, but you're wasting these talented actors. You also have Tyler Posey, I think his name is. He's the guy that's I think he's one of the lead guys. And of course, he has a stupid death because you can't have subtlety in this movie. Screw subtlety. The Spanish got on my nerves in the freaking movie. I know it's Mexico, I get it, but it's a cliche place. They have to go to a foreign land, do something stupid, and then when they come back, they're haunted by something else. Again, I saw that in It Follows, where the freaking curse is passed on from person to person. Again, just like this freaking movie. Stop copying other freaking movies. This movie made $92 million worldwide. It made like 90 times its budget. And it's a shitty horror film that came out in April instead of in October. Halloween can't be any worse than this. The 2018 Halloween has to have tension. If not, you're going to say just by the numbers. And this movie is the textbook definition of a freaking by the numbers movie. I'm not scared. I'm not freaking feeling tension. I don't care about the characters for the most part. You also have other characters. You got like a dark skinned girl that has a drinking problem. Ha ha ha. That's hilarious. I know this is not a comedy, but it's a problem. You got the um who else do you have? You have this guy with big eyes that put the his name is Carter or his fake name is Carter. His name is Sean. He um he put the curse on them in the first place because they meet him at a bar, and he said you should have sold me to piss off and when you met me instead of inviting me into your place and say yeah now you guys are gonna suffer. And I'm like, how stupid are these freaking people? They go like underground in a church or something, and they're drinking and they're playing truth or dare, and it's just it did nothing for me, guys. This is one of the worst films of 2018. Did it anger me like, oh, I want to throw chairs? No, because I knew it wasn't going to be good. It got a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. 14 or 17%. I can't memorize everything right now. Just do the research for yourself. It got a low rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Thrashed by freaking critics. A 35% on Metacritic. A 5.1 on IMDb. This is not a favorable movie. It would have been a guilty pleasure if it was fun. You don't have to be deep. Just either scare me, make me have fun, and make your lead girl a badass. In this movie, you know how they get rid of this, try to get rid of the spirit. They say this freaking you know hymn or something in Spanish, and then they have to cut a guy's tongue off and put it inside of a jar. I'm like, what? What kind of voodoo bullshit is this? This isn't fun. This is stupid. And of course, they have to find the girl that set the the movie starts off even with a scene that's kind of horrific because this girl goes into a store and she takes gasoline and freaking uh, and spreads it all over the store and burns a woman alive. I'm like, okay, this could go somewhere. And then you get to these teenagers or young people, and I'm like, yeah, I don't give a shit now. And the thing is, I love Lucy Hale. Like I said, I'd give her a child right there, right then and there. I would date her, marry her, and then give her a baby because that's how much I care. Tyler Posey, I never seen Teen Wolf, but he's not horrible. It's just the script they gave these actors is freaking horrible. Four writers. You only need one to tell a story like this. It Follows didn't have four writers. Jaws didn't have four writers. The Exorcist, freaking Psycho, even the original Halloween didn't have four writers. That's three too many. Half of the writers are just TV writers, and one of them did a good movie nonstop, which is a good. That movie had tension because it's on a plane, one location. You don't know who the killer is until the end, and it had entertainment value. This is just a movie I'll forget by next year. I'd rather watch Happy Death Day. I've heard good things about that movie. It's got an interesting premise. It's got a kick-ass girl lead, and it's a well received movie than this. It's not original, but at least it tried something different. It tried to do new ideas. This has not an original idea in its body. I mean, you know what's one dare that it says, "I dare you to break Olivia's hand," and I'm like, wow, you are. It's such a mean spirited movie, and I know it's a horror movie. It's not going to be a joke every 5 minutes, but again, I don't want to see Lucy Hale get hurt in a movie. Not like this. Not this brutality that they do in Hostel or the Saw movies. I'm gonna break your hand. Bam! She hits her with a hammer in the hand, and I was just like, oh man, you bastard writers. Why would you hurt my love from Pretty Little Liars? Aria Montgomery from freaking Pretty Little Liars. You hit her with a hammer. Yeah. The director of this, he can go screw himself for this movie because you can do better than this. Try to put some effort into your freaking writing. And the movie just goes on. I'm like, I don't care about the music in the movie, the Spanish, Mexican music. I don't give a shit about it. I don't care about the freaking cast, the idiocracy of the characters. The film is shot well. I'll say it looks good. For a $3 million budget, it looks a lot better than budgets that are 10 times that. But there's no tension. And it's not a horror comedy like Evil Dead 2, where is you're supposed to laugh. Here, I'm laughing at how stupid the movie is. And it looks cartoonish. The deaths are deaths that I've seen before. A guy slitting his throat, that was in the Elm Street remake, and I saw that in a scene. A guy hitting a freaking table, I saw that in Final Destination 5 when the girl flips and then crashes on the ground and breaks her neck. I've seen it already, guys. I've seen it. A girl getting lit on fire, I saw that in hundreds of slasher films. Or the slasher film himself, like the slasher himself. Jason was set on fire. Freddy was set on fire, of course, because that's how he got his origin. And I think Michael Myers was also set on fire. So again, you're not doing anything new here. And there is no slasher. The slasher is the freaking truth or dare spirit. And it's not scary. It's not. This film should have flopped. It would prove that you don't need these crappy Blumhouse movies. It's not the budget, because you can do a lot with a low budget. If you've seen The Deadly Spawn, you'll see what I mean. It's a lot of cult films that have a low budget that are better than these mainstream horror films. And you're wasting the talent of good actors like Lucy Hale and Violet Bean and Michael Lerner and freaking Tyler Posey and the Asian guy that was in Ant Farm, the Hashimoto, whatever his name was. Yeah, you wasted his talent just so he could. Oh, his son comes out to him as gay. Who didn't see that coming? Yeah, another cliche where some freaking guy is hiding his sexuality from his parent. Again, I've seen that before. That happened in Scream 4. This guy's like, he's got a webcam on his head. He's like, I'm gay, I'm gay. And I'm like, oh my God. At least that movie was better than this. Because Neve Campbell it was great to see her back. The kills were way more interesting. The freaking score was better. The soundtrack was better. Had a way better cast. And it didn't have four writers. At least I don't think so. It was a lot better than this movie. I saw that in theaters. I had fun. And it was R all the way through. They didn't make this BS unrated version that all they did was add a couple things that I didn't care for. Oh, there's a pool of blood on the floor. I've seen that in Watchmen. You're not doing anything new, or in Freddy versus Jason, which is superior to this movie in every way because it gives you what you want. Maybe the characters are weak, but it's not. It's got a kick-ass lead villains that fight each other, and it's worth the price of admission. This is just dull, and it's laughable, and it has zero tension. And if there's no tension, there's no scares, and if there's no scares, the movie's not horror. It's just teen drama with freaking ooga booga booga stuff, and it doesn't work. It fails, in my opinion. So yeah, Lucy Hale deserves better than this. She's a gorgeous woman that I would give my right arm for, and you make her film career decision, post Pretty Little Liars, this shitty horror movie with Joker smiles and people with their eyes turning red. Again, I've seen this all before, and stupid deaths that easily were stolen from Final Destination. The first one, the second one, take your pick. But again, and it's not that the cast sucks. The acting is not really the problem. It's the writing. It hurts the movie. And so does the freaking stupid ass decisions from the director saying, "Oh, you know what'll be scary? Hitting beautiful Lucy Hale in the hand with a freaking hammer." You're not Saw. You're not freaking Hostile. Stop trying so hard, director. That wouldn't have worked in a PG-13 movie because Lucy has her hand bruised and she has to wear a cast for the whole freaking movie, and it upset me. Granted, there was no SJW stuff in the movie, but again, and the ending is not satisfying. It's not like the curse is lifted and then they can live normal lives. No, it has to pass on to the next people. If you if you do the if you don't tell the truth, you die. If you don't do the dare, you die. If you don't want to play, you die. I'm like, wow, there really is no escape. But anyway, I hated this movie, guys. It's in my bottom three of this year. I feel pretty this and the next one, who knows what it's gonna be, but it's probably gonna be worse than this. Man, they should stop. Blumhouse should only do either like direct to video VOD or like films in the theater that have better writing than this. The Asylum has done better movies than this, and they rip off other movies without question. But at least they're trying. This isn't trying. Four writers to write freaking cliche the movie, yeah, fuck that. I want to see something good. Stop wasting these young actors and their talent because they have talent. I didn't think they were horrible. I didn't. I've seen way freaking worse. I've watched the freaking Girl from the Force Awakens act. That's more painful than anything in this movie because that's longer. That's 2 hours of torture. This is just 96 minutes of been there, done that horror that I've seen a million times before. And it doesn't need to be like this. Show some freaking tension. Have a score that grabs you. Have some freaking not jump scares. You know what was scarier than this? It Follows and freaking Jaws and even The Conjuring. The first Conjuring, I was scared to death. I was like, there was tension. There was atmosphere. The clap. That was scary in the trailer. So and when I saw that in the theater and everybody was jumping out of their seats, here I didn't jump not once. The jump scare did nothing for me. These are a bunch of just drunk idiot young people that go to Mexico to screw around, and then they suffer the consequences. Again, I've seen this already. So screw truth or dare. I know, Josh, you're a fan of the movie. You say it's a guilty pleasure. I would love it if it was a better movie for Lucy Hale because, like I said, baby, yeah, baby, because that's the kind of girl that I would want to be around. Soft, dark hair, beautiful eyes, a nice, sweet American accent, and most of the cast is American, so it didn't bother me. And they're young and they have potential. Don't waste your time on this freaking movie. Just don't skip it. Just wait for Halloween next month. You'll have there's a much better option. There's no way it's going to be this comedy, this movie that it should have been a comedy because I was laughing. I was never scared. I'm like, oh my god, these people are so stupid. And I was like, yeah, should not be laughing in a freaking horror movie that's not meant to be a comedy, a horror comedy like Evil Dead 2 or Army of Darkness or freaking Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Something that's supposed to be ridiculous. Sharknado had more tension than this. All six of them. Yeah, because you don't know who was gonna die. Like in the fifth movie, half of the people die in it. Here, about half of them die, and it's like, oh, it's a game of Russian roulette with a freaking young group of people that I've seen done better. But anyway, that's enough for me ranting on this edition of Caucasian Movie Month. This is a waste of a beautiful white girl, Lucy Hale, Karen Lucy Hale. Don't ever waste her talent again because she's better than this. Violet Bean is better than this. The rest of the actors, they're better than this. PG-13 bullshit movie that they're like, oh yeah, but on DVD we're gonna add more. And again, I've seen naked girls before. I've seen gore, and I've heard the F word in countless movies this year. You're not doing anything new. Stop cheating your audiences, Blumhouse. If not, we'll be done with you. Like we're done with freaking Disney Wars. Yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. And if you like the film, that's fine. This is not for everybody. It's not for me. I'm not the lowest common denominator. I like some entertainment value in my movies and some tension if it's a horror film and some a kick-ass score, a good soundtrack, good freaking writing. Not this piss poor by the numbers crap that we've seen in countless other slasher films and horror movies in the past. See you guys in the next review. Screw Truth or Dare. I dare you to not see this movie. That's the truth. Later.